we're good.
Okay, here are the two trim tabs buttons. And the trim tabs for a boat like this are basically designed just to level laterally the boat. So for instance, if the starboard bow was high, then it's kind of counterintuitive. If the starboard bow is high, you are actually going to push the top of the button to bring the bow level. So you push the top of the button, and you're going to want to be a little bit easy about it. You don't want to lay on it, because if you do, what can happen is if you're running the boat like this and you lay on the thing, it's not going to flop, if you will, but it is going to overcompensate. So you're going to hit this button just a little bit, and that'll bring the bow down until you can level it, until it levels up. On the other end, of course, this is going to be dictated perhaps by the wind direction. If you've got a crosswind one way or the other, it may cause the boat to list one side or the other, or if you have 10 people on one side and 2 on the other, same thing. Of course, you can take care of that by distributing the load and asking them to even up. But if you
Fat people over there.
Yeah, that's right. That'd be the one. That'd be the one. But what you do need to remember is that when you are, so if you are switching directions, for instance, then all of a sudden, instead of this side being high, this side could be low. So you might have to then run this one down until it's all the way up, if that makes any sense. And then you would turn, and if this side, the port side, was high, then you would just go to this button, push it down a ways until it leveled the boat up. And then always remember, when you're coming into your lift, and most particularly if you're coming into MarineMax for service or whatever, just lay on both buttons at the same time on the bottom, count to 3, because we want to make sure that those trim tabs are all the way up, because the forks on the forklift will come underneath the boat and snap them off.
Yeah, same thing for the boat lift at our house.
Okay.
Yeah, you just
Always bring them up when you come in.
It's just good practice to bring them up. So,
and when you're running, ideally, you want them up anyway. That's less drag.
You do. Less drag. And with a boat like this, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of freeboard, so you're running that bow down even more. You got more water in your face, and so I would just use them only to adjust the lateral level of the boat. Anchor lights, this is your white light only, and this needs to be turned on when you are in the fog or at night, and you are either on anchor or drifting. Navigation lights, on the other hand, so you turn the anchor light off. Now if you are underway, which means you have the engines on and the boat in gear, then you're going to turn on the anchor lights, which is your red, your green, and your white light.
Navigation lights.
And I would always recommend that whenever you turn on your navigation lights, is to go forward and make sure that the red and the green are on, because you can't see them from here. And if you're like most of us, that drinking and boating go hand in hand, the last thing you want to do is give the Coast Guard or the police an opportunity to come pick you up because you had one light out.
Right.
Okay, cockpit lights. That's just the conventional little round lights around the floor here. And then the accessory lights would be your LEDs that you see here. These are on a rheostat. So you hold it up here, and that it gets brighter as you hold it up. And then when you push it down, then they go all the way to dim and then to off. And then of course your hall lights are on the outside of the boat. Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
What does that say there?
Oil pressure.
Oil pressure.
0.1 psi.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's we have the switches on. Right? That one's on too, I guess. I just couldn't see it with my sunglasses. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and we'll just turn the engines on. Okay. And I'll just scroll through one of these that I can see this one better from here. Okay, we got oil pressure, and then of course you have a power trim gauge at the bottom, And if you push that button up, then of course the bar gets
it?
darker.
No, that's good.
Okay.
I know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then we've got oil pressure and
Oh yeah. Old mode to enter.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I pushed the wrong button, so we're going to let it reset.
You're
Okay.
not on it anyway, Dad.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're not going to use the mode button. What we are going to use is we're going to scroll the screens with the
Right.
arrows up or down.
Okay.
So we got oil pressure there, got engine
Temp.
temperature,
Trim.
a larger trim gauge, and water
Temp.
temperature, and depth. And then we got engine temperature again, and battery voltage, and RPMs, which we already have here. And then we've got engine hours, and then we've got fuel total gallons, okay, and speed, and then your water pressure, and then oil pressure. So this one here I would personally probably take back to the fuel, because we're going to get the depth displayed on the Raymarine.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This one works the same. So we're going to go to the Raymarine. If we push the button, this is actually your on switch and your brightness. But if we push the on button, maybe you heard the beep, maybe not with the background noise, but it is booting up. Always takes longer than we want it to.
It's finding those 3 satellites, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I was playing with this the other day, trying to get it to the right settings where it shows the depths on the chart, and but I had it on a setting that didn't make sense. So
Okay.
comes up.
First thing we do is get our disclaimer. Says Raymarine's not responsible if you rely on this and you run aground or kill somebody or whatever. Okay. At the bottom here, we have no autopilot, we have no radar, no AIS, and no sonar. What we do have is we do have the chart, and we've got the user manual, and then you can do split screens here with the dual chart. As small as this screen is already, not too excited about the dual chart thing. So let's see what we got going with the okay, now there are your historical depths right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were
Yeah, I was looking not for the one that had the round circles though, because I was on menu and I somehow got to that.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. It
We're
was
gonna
on a
go
different one
to-
earlier, and I somehow got to that.
Well, as I tell everybody, just push the button, because you're not going to break it.
I know.
Then we just need to go back and, okay, so did you have the tracking shut off too?
I've used it on and off both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I cleared all the tracks.
Okay, all right, so you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to presentation. I'm thinking that
Yeah, that seemed like
we might be in something there. We're extra detailed. Okay.
Maybe the overlays.
The overlays would be a logical one. No, we got everything off. Let's see if chart text, chart grid off. Chart. Let's see what we got there. Oh, there's your range rings right there.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what it is. That
Chart
took it off.
boundaries. Yep. Okay. So let's see what else we got there. Fuel range ring. Shut that off. Boat size large. That would have to do with your little icon here.
Mm-hmm.
Waypoint name. And track width is normal, so if you turn the tracking on and you want a thinner one or a wider one, you can do that. Okay. So
Yeah.
now we've got the rings off. We've got our historical depths here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that looks like about what.
Yeah, that's about as good as we're gonna get, I think.
Yeah, I would guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.